The topic for today's lecture is connecting to internet. The learning objectives are: after completion of this lecture, the students will be able to define internet and internet service provider. They will be able to identify various technology available for connecting to internet. They will be able to explain various ways to get connected to internet, and they will be able to explain different criteria for choosing right ISP. Let's start. First, we define what is internet. The internet is made up of millions of computers linked together around the world in such a way that information can be sent from any computer to any other 24 hours a day. These computers can be in homes, schools, universities, government departments, or businesses small and large. They can be any type of computer and be single, personal computers, or workstations on a college or a company network. The internet is often described as a network of networks which operates worldwide using a common set of communication protocols like TCP/IP. Then the next ISP. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. An ISP is a company or any organizations through which a subscriber obtains internet access. We can take example here like Airtel, Reliance, BSNL, Tata, MTS. There are lots of organizations available to provide these types of internet facilities. The ISPs offers various connections options. As we can see here, there are lots of options using dial-up modem, DSL modem, cable modem, satellite modem. In today's lecture, we will discuss these types of technologies available to get connected to the internet. So, the first technology is dial-up. Dial-up connection is also called analog. It is both economical and slow. Using a modem connected to your PC, users connect to the internet when the computer dials a phone number which is provided by ISP and connects to the network. Dial-up is an analog connection because data is sent over an analog public telephone network. The modem converts received analog data to digital and vice versa. Because dial-up access uses normal telephone lines, the quality of the connection is not always good and data rates are limited. Typical dial-up connection speeds range from 2400 bps to 56 kbps. Another one with the help of telephone. The internet connection via phone line is the most popular technique in the world. There are various different methods to use internet via telephone such as ISDN, DSL, ADSL, SDSL. ISDN stands for Integrated Services Digital Network. It is an international communications standard for sending voice, video, and data over digital telephone lines or normal telephone wires. Typical ISDN speeds range from 64 kbps to 128 kbps. Another one is DSL, which stands for Digital Subscriber Line. DSL is also called an always on connection because it uses existing two-wire copper telephone line connected to the college and will not tie up your phone as a dial-up connection does. There is no need to dial in to your ISP as DSL is always on. The two main categories of DSL for home subscribers are called ADSL and SDSL. The connection speeds range from DSL 128 kbps to 8 Mbps. ADSL stands for Asynchronous Digital Subscriber Line, which is the most commonly deployed types of DSL in North America. It supports data rates from 1.5 to 9 Mbps when receiving data, known as the downstream rate, and from 16 to 640 kbps when sending data, known as upstream rate. ADCL requires a special ADCL modem. SDSL stands for Synchronous Digital Subscriber Line. This is still more common in Europe. By using this technology, we can send more data over existing copper telephone lines. It supports data rates up to 3 Mbps. Another one with the help of cable. Through the use of a cable modem, we can have a broadband internet connection that is designed to operate over cable TV lines. Cable internet works by using TV channel space for data transmission, with certain channels used for downstream transmission and other channels for upstream transmission. Because the coaxial cable used by cable TV provides much greater bandwidth than telephone lines, a cable modem can be used to achieve extremely fast access. Cable speeds range from 512 kbps to 20 Mbps. Here we can use a special type of modem. We can see here cable modem. We can see here the types of cable used. This is a twisted pair cable which is used for a dial-up connection, telephone line. Then for DSL we using coaxial cable, and also now these we can use a fiber optic cable for providing a much better bandwidth as compared to the other cable. These are the some diagrams that represent their types, some different types of cable. Now the popular next technology, Wi-Fi, that is wireless fidelity. Wireless internet or wireless broadband is one of the newest internet connection types. Instead of using telephone or cable network for our internet connection, we use radio frequency bands. Wireless internet provides an always-on connection which can be accessed from anywhere as long as we geographically within a network coverage area. Wireless access is still considered to be relatively new, and it may be difficult to find a wireless service provider in some areas. It is typically more expensive and mainly available in metropolitan areas. Another one with the help of satellite. Internet over satellite allows a user to access the internet via a satellite that orbits the Earth. A satellite is placed at a static point above the Earth's surface in a fixed position. Because the enormous distances signals must travel from the Earth up to the satellite and back again, Internet over satellite is slightly slower than high-speed terrestrial connections over copper or fiber optic cables. Typical Internet over satellite connection speeds average around 490 to up to 512 kbps. Another one you can use a lease line. Here we can see here the T1 and T3 lines. T1 lines are a popular lease line option for business connecting to the internet and for the internet service providers connecting to the internet backbone. It is a dedicated phone connection supporting data rates of 1.544 Mbps. A T1 line actually consists of 24 individual channels, each of which support 64 kilobits per second. Each 64 kilobits per second channel can be configured to carry voice or data traffic. Most telephone companies allows us to buy just one or some of these individual channels. T1 line supports speeds of 1.544 Mbps. Another one is T3 lines. T3 lines are dedicated phone connections supporting data rates of about 43 to 45 Mbps. It is a popular leased line option. A T3 line actually consists of 672 individual channels, each of which supports 64 kbps. T3 lines are used mainly by internet service providers connecting to the internet backbone and for the backbone itself. Typical T3 supports speeds ranging from 43 to 45 Mbps. Now, the question arises, how can we choose a right ISP? There should be some criteria for choosing an ISP. Here we will discuss some criteria for choosing a right ISP. The first criteria can be, will we usually access the internet from only one location, or do we travel and need to work from different locations using a laptop computer? So if we travel, we definitely want an ISP with either a nationwide access number or an ISP with many dial-up local access numbers. The second one, do we need high speed or permanent internet access rather than ordinary dial-up modem access? Meeting these requirements is more expensive and may involve equipment such as cable connection that we can't take with us when traveling. If we choose a high speed or permanent access plan, be sure we can access your account by modem as well. The third one, do we want or need the additional services that some ISP like AOL provide? If not, consider a cheaper provider, but make sure they have services you do need. The another one, do we want to use the home page space provided by our ISP to host our business pages? If so, will our ISP let you have your own domain name? How much extra will they charge for hosting our own domain name? If you travel, be sure our ISP provides POP3, SMTP, and webmail services. You need to be able to receive and send your email using an email reader, such as Outlook Express, and using a web-based interface, not just using an ISP's own interface. Do you want newsgroup access? If so, make sure your ISP provides that. Not all do. If you are planning to have your own website, be sure your ISP allows FTP access so you can upload your pages using your choice of FTP software, not just theirs. So there are some maybe more criterias for choosing ISP. So depend upon your need, you can choose the right ISP for your work. So in summary, at the first part I have provided the introduction to internet and ISP. I have explained various ways to get connected to internet, and I have also discussed some criteria for choosing ISP. So this is the task for you. Please think, what are the different pros and cons of technology uses for connection to the internet? What are the some other criteria can be happen for choosing a right ISP? So thanks for the lecture today.